This is getting crazy real quick. It's getting sticky real quick. The WNBA refs information has been leaked. There could be potential betting going on, a potential scandal. We don't know what's going on. We don't know who to trust. But this information has been put out. We got to get into it, man. The WNBA has also failed to protect and represent Caitlin Clark. That is the Women's National Basketball Players Association. The Players Association have not.
The list has finally been released. The people who were supposed to protect the integrity of the game are now at the center of a controversy that could seriously damage the entire WNBA. This is no longer just about questionable calls during games. It is about the growing concern that a betting scandal may have been developing behind the scenes for months. Fans have spent weeks watching Caitlin Clark take hard hits and physical contact without getting the calls they believed she deserved. Now, people finally know which referees were in charge during many of those controversial moments. The anonymity that once protected those officials is gone. What is now coming to light is a pattern of possible misconduct that has led many fans to question whether the league is operating fairly or simply putting on a show instead of running a professional sports competition.
With 8-figure contracts getting arrested for betting and gambling and all of this stuff. You seen the Brendan Swordsby kid at Texas Tech got put out because he was betting on games. How do we know that these refs that are clearly sabotaging Caitlin Clark, how do we know they're not betting? We don't know anything. You can't put anything past any of these people, but these are the referees. They've been identified. Okay, take a look at these guys here. These are the WNBA refs, and they're all in question, all of them, because you don't know what their motives are.
The names of all 34 WNBA referees have now been made public, and the timing could not be worse for a league that is already facing heavy criticism from fans and the media. A social media group called Power Ties released the full names of every official and compared them to referees from roller derby leagues in the 1940s. The group claimed that these officials exist only to make the games appear legitimate while allowing excessive physical play against certain players. After seeing the list of names and reviewing game footage, many people believe there are repeated patterns that are becoming harder to ignore. Critics argue that some officials appear to treat the Indiana Fever differently than other teams. With their identities now public, many believe those referees can no longer avoid public attention or accountability.
Question. All of them, because you don't know what their motives are. We've seen games where Caitlin Clark shoots 0 free throws. But we've seen games where Breanna Stewart and Asia Wilson will shoot 20-plus free throws in a game. How do we know they're not prop betting? How do we know? We don't know nothing. Hold on, man. Y'all think it's a game. Take a look at this here. How do we know? 9-year NBA veteran Malik Beasley has been indicted on federal charges for gambling related to the sports betting scheme, such as point shaving and prop bets. His attorney, Steve Haney, tells ESPN the government is coordinating a voluntary surrender of Beasley.
Many people are now asking the same important question. How can anyone be sure that some referees are not involved in gambling or other improper activities? We are living in a time when professional athletes earning millions of dollars have still been accused of participating in sports betting investigations. If a player like Malik Beasley can become involved in a federal gambling investigation, some people wonder why referees, who earn much less money, would automatically be considered above suspicion. Because of that, many fans believe that repeated missed calls and uneven technical fouls may be more than simple mistakes. They argue that the pattern looks too consistent to ignore. When a star player like Caitlin Clark finishes a game without attempting a single free throw while the opposing team repeatedly goes to the free throw line, many people believe the numbers naturally raise serious questions.
Like Malik Beasley, who had an 8-figure contract. These referees aren't getting paid 8 figures. They're not making 8 figures. If he was getting 8 figures and this is what he was doing, how do we know these shady, shiesty refs? How do we know they're not doing something wrong? The identities are right here. We're going to be watching. We're going to be paying attention because a lot of y'all refs have put this bullseye on your own back. Y'all gave Caitlin Clark a tech, but then I watched Kayla McBride clap in you guys' face. No technical foul. I watched Paige Beckers just recently clap
The case involving Malik Beasley has made many people wonder how serious these concerns could really be. The veteran NBA player was reportedly investigated over a sports betting case involving point shaving and prop bets. His attorney confirmed that he voluntarily turned himself in after authorities claimed he had manipulated parts of his performance to affect certain betting outcomes. If someone playing at the highest level of professional basketball is willing to risk a huge contract for potential financial gain, some fans question why WNBA referees should automatically be trusted when many believe they have repeatedly made controversial decisions involving the league's biggest star. It has caused people to wonder whether every missed flagrant foul against Caitlin Clark is simply a mistake or whether there could be another reason behind those decisions.
But then I watched Kayla McBride clapping you guys' face, no technical foul. I watched Paige Beckers just recently clap at you guys, taunting opponent, no technical foul. None. The WNBA finally reviewed one play for Caitlin Clark, and all of a sudden a new smear campaign is on in protection of Alyssa Thomas. This is all craziness, man. It's all crazy. But these are the refs identified, and we got to be careful. We got to pay attention, dot our I's and cross our T's. Eyes peeled, ear to
the numbers from several of these games have left many fans frustrated because they seem difficult to explain. There have been games where Caitlin Clark appeared to take repeated hard contact throughout the night, but finished without attempting a single free throw. At the same time, players such as Breanna Stewart and Aya Wilson have often gone to the free throw line 20 or more times in certain games. Many fans believe this cannot be explained only by differences in playing style. They argue that the statistics raise questions about whether the games are being officiated fairly. When the referees remained anonymous, many people believed they could avoid close public scrutiny. Now that their names are known, fans are comparing missed calls with game situations and betting discussions, leading to even greater public anger.
Pacers Fever fan, we're about to get into what Christine Brennan had to say because this ties into it, okay? Here it says, Caitlin has had the most flagrant fouls committed against her out of all players since she has been in the league. And there's been so many uncalled ones. The W finally corrected one, and all of a sudden it's a problem. Because the WNBA corrected this one flagrant, blatant, disgusting foul and play by Alyssa Thomas, all of a sudden a new hate campaign, a new smear campaign has been launched right before our eyes. And
many fans believe the way technical fouls are called has become one of the biggest issues in the league. They point to moments when Caitlin Clark received a technical foul for what they viewed as a minor reaction, while other players appeared to show similar or stronger behavior without being penalized. Fans have highlighted examples involving Kayla McBride and Paige Beckers, arguing that comparable actions did not receive the same punishment. Because of this, many people believe there is an inconsistent standard for enforcing the rules. They argue that whenever Caitlin Clark shows frustration after taking repeated physical contact during games, officials respond much more quickly than they do with other players. Whether intentional or not, these repeated situations have led many fans to believe she is being treated differently from others across the league.
She swirls over Alyssa Thomas' one-game suspension. I reached out to WNBA Executive Director Terry Jackson asking this: is it punishable for your fist in another player's throat, or is it not? Players Union spokesman said the WNBA respectfully declines comment. The WNBA has no interest in protecting Caitlin Clark after Caitlin Clark helped them. After Caitlin Clark helped the WNBA secure a transformational CBA. This is what I'm talking about when I said they just was using.
What has made this situation even more upsetting for many fans is the silence from the people they believe should be protecting the players. Critics argue that the Women's National Basketball Players Association has not publicly shown enough support for Caitlin Clark after several physical incidents during games. Many expected the Players Union to speak out more strongly in defense of one of the league's biggest stars. Instead, they believe the organization has remained mostly quiet while Clark continues to face tough physical play. To some fans, it seems as though she is being treated differently instead of being fully supported by the basketball community. They also believe the union's lack of public criticism toward the officiating raises serious questions about the league's internal culture and whether player safety is truly being treated as a top priority.
WNBPA secure a transformational CBA. This is what I'm talking about when I said they just was using her. You see what Emmanuel Acho said, oh, they got what they need out of her. They don't need her around anymore. You see what's going on. They used her up. That is what is going on. The fact that the WNBPA is trying to be hush-hush and hide in a goddamn cave somewhere and act like they don't know what's going on or got nothing to say is disgusting. I said during the CBA negotiations, Terry Jackson should be fired. I said she should have been fired months ago. I've been said it.
The league eventually reviewed a play involving a flagrant foul committed by Alyssa Thomas, but the response from league officials became another source of controversy. When veteran journalist Christine Brennan contacted WNBA Executive Director Terry Jackson to ask about the incident,